let's kick this off, guys. Let's do this as we get this underway. To the top left-hand side, our first best of 5 of the day. Again, our plan is a cast Solar versus uThermal, Marine Lord versus Trap, both the semi-finals, then the grand finals. That's our plan. We'll see how it goes as we get this underway. To the top left-hand side, our blue Zerg player. This, from Infinity Gaming, is Solar. Bottom right-hand side, our red Terran from Team Liquid. We have ourselves uThermal. Again, number 1 of this best of 5 as we get this set up and ready to go. Going to be seeing a hatchery dropping down on the natural expansion. And as we do just see, no proxy racks, nothing crazy to begin with. Now we have been seeing uThermal's TVZ lately has been pretty good, very battlecruiser focused. I saw a good meme of him on Twitter the other day from Drogo, who said, tweeted out a picture saying, this uThermal's killed all of the Zerg's army, and all of the Zerg's buildings apart from 10 spore crawlers, but he only has 2 battlecruisers left. So the Zerg wouldn't leave the game, so uThermal was having to wait for the Yamato cannon to come off cooldown so he could Yamato cannon down a spore crawler every single time. And just waiting and waiting. It apparently took him like 20 minutes to kill the final spores. Well, not 20, but like 10. The game was already 20 minutes in though, and he was having to start doing this, so it's kind of funny. Then uThermal told me a bit about that game, about how the Zerg was super far ahead, like he had the Roachling all in and was doing really well. And so uThermal, like a last-ditch effort, just teleported his BCs across the map and said, well, I guess the only thing I can try. And the Zerg just had no anti-air apparently, so he just died. Yeah, kind of funny, honestly. Like, one of those games that I actually said I really want to cast it, but they wouldn't send me the replay, so feels bad, man, but not really that bad. We've got lots of stuff to cast anyways. As we do see, the first Reaper is currently having a little bit of a wander on up to the top left-hand side of the map here, so uThermal with this Reaper is going to get in and try and figure out what's going on, of course, get a good little bit of scouting information going. Drops him towards the natural here. Already a nice grenade to pop a couple of drones off to the side. Okay, guys, if you see a couple of lag spikes, this is Korean server, so it is Korean server based. Means that we are going to have some Korean server lag as we go. That's just something we have to put up with here, unfortunately, on the channel. There's really only so much we can do about it, unfortunately. This Reaper is going to drop down a grenade, pops that Queen forwards actually, gets a Zergling kill as well. Not bad, not bad. Link speed on the way up then from Solar, getting this underway. Starport drops down in the main base as well from uThermal. He's going to swap his factory over onto a reactor. The barracks comes over to a tech lab. And that is going to be, well, I mean, potential for kind of a fast battlecruiser, obviously. I mean, Starport coming up, tech lab on the racks. uThermal was telling me that he didn't think BC builds were that good anymore as well, though, so I'd be surprised if we saw BCs every game. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we saw BCs in at least one game here. I mean, while they're not maybe as good, I still think it's kind of a weird meta that's developing, isn't it? Like, people are opening battlecruisers. You know, a lot of people are like, well, this and that, and, you know, Roachling all in became very good against it, but as Roachling became very good against it, people, you know, as the Terrans started to die, then the Terrans start to adapt their builds so they could hold Roachling attacks, and so the battlecruisers are still somewhat viable to the point now where Zergs aren't going for Roachling attacks, and because they're not going for Roachling attacks, we find ourselves in these weird positions where the battlecruiser builds just become as good as they were before. So the meta is evolving very quickly around these battlecruisers because everybody is doing it. It's pretty funky as we do see this cloak coming up here. Viking pops out, and it will be a Banshee to follow up, it would seem. No fusion core, so it's definitely not some kind of a fake out for the eventual battlecruiser. So just Banshees here in the early stages. As the first Hellions coming out, getting that Zergling, setting it on fire. And now moving across the map to see what else they can do. Solar, well, he's got his 3 bases up, going into Rotron now, but you know what? He only has a very low number of lings. He only has 11 lings total. uThermal does not dive in, though. He doesn't take the risk, but I feel like he could have done so well there. The Queens were a little out of position. The lings weren't all gathered up together either. There's actually a real opportunity that just slipped on by. Hellions coming around to the left side, going to get themselves a couple of drone kills. Queen's able to push those Hellions away out through the center of the map as well. Rotron is about to finish up on the natural expansion. As again, those Hellions just seen where they can go. A couple more barracks on the way down, a couple of engineering bays on the way up. Stimpack coming in on the racks. Because the Italians are still just having a little look to see what they can maybe do at the frontier, what they can poke around on, what they can maybe pick up in terms of damage dealt. Banshee comes all the way around the left-hand side. He is going to be coming up in towards the third base in the next few moments. A couple of Evo chambers going down. As you do see, that Spore Crawler is able to pick up 4 shots onto the Banshee. Banshee, though, will get a couple of shots off already, and it's going to make us 3-4 kills before the Spore Crawler relocates. Lair is done, Overseer is done, so there is mobile detection, so this Banshee will not just roam the bases forever, because that's now going up to 5. Oh my god, so much split damage on those drones. That's 7 kills, another Queen in the main will get the kill. So Banshee number 1 going down, and the Hellions back in a way uThermal haven't been very cautious with these. Looks as though he'll probably save them now. At this stage, if the Hellions haven't dove in, it's actually really nice to save them, because not only can they protect their third base from a run-by in the initial stages while you first get set up with a low number of Marines, but you can also go in towards a setup where, as the armory comes in for the 2-2 upgrades, you will not only have 1-1 finishing, obviously because that's when 2-2s going to get started, but you also have the Hellbats to morph in, and they're going to kind of act as a little bit of a buffer for the Marines in whatever sort of push you go for. And generally 1-1 finishing up is a bit of a sign for Terrans to push. They usually have good upgrades, a couple of medivacs at that point. Obviously the upgrades are good, stim will be done, combat shields will be done. It's just a very good timing. Like, that's what the kind of build revolves around almost, in terms of building in towards the mid-game. The mid-game kind of begins with that push. So, see uThermal pressing forwards already. I feel this is a little bit earlier than expected, but he does have stim, and honestly no 1-1 yet. He does have that siege tank, which you can siege up over here, and that might just be his goal. Hellions will be able to morph into Hellbats any second now, so again... Oh, you know what? Those Evo chambers are very exposed, aren't they? A little bit of a run-by towards the third base. uThermal immediately pulls SCVs away, stims his Marines over. He's actually just going to start pulling back, although seeing those roaches, realizing he might have to actually fight this tank on the high ground is going to be really good for him here, though. Corrosive barrels coming down. That tank doesn't quite fall, so it's still going to stick around. Oh, Solar's just lost so many roaches. On the other side of the map, he's gotten himself 4 SCVs, but that was a lot of army damage taken. That was a ton of army damage taken. That was very painful. Alright, well, Marine Tank and Hellbats pulling back to the bottom right. Those units from uThermal are going to be gathering up, as we do see a couple more tanks getting sieged. SCVs will repair. This was a great fight for uThermal overall. Look at that resources lost tab already. He killed 14 roaches, bunch of lings. You know, he got a bunch of drones away with that Banshee. He only lost 9 Marines in this fight. The 4 SCVs on the counter-attack as well. Really good first fight from uThermal here in this game number 1 of this best-of-5 playoff match in the 2018. Has left the game. And this tournament's been so much fun to run myself and Take TV, putting it on. You had 40 players entering this tournament. We've had over 100 series played by the time we're done today. Isn't that just crazy? I think it's crazy. In fact, this is probably our 97th series of the tournament now. Ish. I guess some of them didn't play in the groups, so maybe we're a little bit off from there, but it's crazy. We just had so much StarCraft in this event. It's been awesome. And Solo with that typical clumping up of creep tumors as they move forwards. And we just see these Marines going to come over here. They see this base which is building up. That's a 4th. So that's actually kind of important to keep alive here. Obviously, Solo would kind of like and kind of need that in some stages. uThermal will lose some supply depots right now. Solo's maxed out. uThermal has a good tank line. The important part of this is being able to keep his tanks alive throughout the earlier stages of this fight. As we see, the tanks are doing a lot of damage. They need to keep on being there to deal that damage. That drop across the map, again, it's picked off a base, but that's about it for the moment. The Marines still hanging out. Here's the tanks on the back will start to go down. There's not much left, though, from Solar, and these last Marines will break through the roaches, so suddenly the Ravagers are in trouble. The Ravagers go down very quickly because they're not armored, and they have less health than roaches, so once the Marines are on top of them, it is going to be enough. Those Queens are obviously destined to die as well. There's no way you can save those, and Solar was completely all in with his 1-1 roach attack. He never stands aside our blue Zerg player from Infinity Gaming, representing Korea. This is Solar. Top right hand side, taking that first game down with confidence. Looked good, was in control throughout. The Red Terran, here is Team Liquid uThermal. Liquid Fermi. By day he goes by uThermal, at night he becomes Fermi. And he kills Korean players with StarCraft units. Early gas pool here from Solar, so Immediately, Solo's build is looking to try and come across and cancel a command center almost. The early link speed will obviously mean it so that a Reaper can't just defend those links. And it's going to be very difficult to actually finish up a command center. So uThermal, building into his Rax gas opening. Not going to have a CC first, which should actually be very good against this build, because the CC finishes that much faster. You could actually then just finish it and lift it up, and then Solo gets basically no damage done, which is really disastrous for him. At the moment, though, it just looks as though this is more regularly based in terms of expanding. As we do see this Overlord coming across to the upper right-hand side of the map to see what's going on, of course. And there's the first 6 slings on the way up. Now, this will not just be the 6 slings, because it's link speed as well. You're definitely looking to make around 12 to 18 Zerglings here, depending on what you feel is needed. I think 12 is more than enough, but if you find an opportunity to maybe break through and keep going through, then obviously a few more will never go amiss. So there's 2 more already. The first Queen on the way out. No expansion yet from Solo, but he did pull out of gas, so you will get that in the near future, just choosing for the Queen rather than the expand. Just making sure that he's going to be able to get enough Zerglings up here, as that's now 4 Zerglings in production. It's only going to increase. So we do see these lings obviously just going to wait for the Reaper to move out so they can come in and get damage onto that CC without taking hits. Link speed about halfway done. Reaper obviously will see how late that hatchery is and will immediately pull back home. And I wonder if he sees how late that hatchery is, he will just sort of say, you know what, let's do something about this. Well, you know what, he sees the lings on the bottom side and the top side of the map. So instantly, look at that, he knows. Pulls that CVs back, because as soon as he sees more than 6 lings, he knows this is not just your, your standard old, let's get 6 lings and harass and sort of be annoying. This is the, I'm going to, I really want to cancel the command center thing. So the sooner he cancels that command center, the sooner he can build it in the main base instead, which is exactly what uThermal moves in towards. As you see that reactor coming down here, the factory is about to finish, and we do see this Reaper, of course, will not be in too much use. With link speed on the map, that Reaper still being out there means it will go down. Oh, factory just gets down there. That was really close. If those lings get in right there, that game ends. That was absolutely clutch by uThermal. 14 lings on the map then is the answer, as we now see Solo. Obviously, gave up a lot for this. His natural hatchery was very slow. So his second Queen is very slow. His next inject is very slow. His drone count is low as well, because he made 14 Zerglings. So all in all, and his drone count originally wasn't high anyways, because he also went for an early gas pool. So this is really a good setup here so far from uThermal, I feel. I mean, it's weird because it's like uThermal did everything correct given the situation, so it's just interesting because obviously like Solo kind of knows that this is a lot of the time the most he's going to get done with this, and he's still happy with that. So you can't say this is bad for Solo because he did exactly what he wanted to get done. He just didn't get more than that done. It is a weird setup because at this stage now, yeah, command center comes down, the timings of the builds obviously off. I just see a fusion core on the way. Can he deny that scout? Well, with 2 Marines, I think he will. And that's kind of a big deal because as this Overlord comes through, he doesn't even see the starport, although you could probably assume a starport unless it's some sort of a 3CC build order. Yeah, not seeing the starport. Has no idea what this could possibly be at the moment, and it is going to be the battlecruiser for uThermal to try and take a 2-0 lead in that first best of 5 today. We do have other matches going on at the same time. Drogo versus Denver, Bunny versus Mana, and again we'll be casting Trap versus Marine Lord after this series completes. DC on the way up. How's that lair and the Rotron getting set up here? We see those few Hellions up to the top side. Going to be pulling away up the left as we do see again a couple of Queens looking to chase them down. Yamato Cannon on the way up then as well, so just kind of part of the battlecruiser build order, no surprises. I like the fact he brought 3 Hellions across and left 3 Hellions over here. 3 Hellions is enough to one-shot one-shot Zerglings, so it's kind of like a cool little split that is designed to get that insta-kill potential. Wardy's going to BC his way to victory against the other casters. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe not. Maybe not. 2 more racks on the way up here in the main base. We do see the battlecruiser is about to pop out, so battlecruiser coming out at the moment as we do see that coming into play. Hellions starting to poke their way through this Queen. Doing a little bit of damage at the moment here as we see a couple of drones starting to go down. 3 workers dead at the moment, and we're going to be seeing this BC and start working his way through this queen as well. Gets 1 queen kill, going for another. Yamato should go on the high health queen there. Solar realizing what was going to happen, dropped his other transfuse that he had available. Oh, but the Hellions show up on the 3rd base and they get a lot more drones. No, Solar. Oh my god, uThermal misses the opportunity, but those drones were stacked up. Man, if he'd gotten that shot on the drone, so it doesn't matter. Solar's just going to type out GG and uThermal over Solar. As we start off to the top right side, our blue Terran, his team liquid uThermal. On the left-hand side, our red Zerg. This is Solar from Infinity Gaming. Well, discussion about the battlecruiser lately. Honestly, it's a tough one to say, but I really think it's not that bad. Like, it's an expensive unit. Yeah, it's kind of good at the moment, but we have seen ways to take it down. You have a long time to scout it because it's got a huge build time. It's a little bit rough. Hey, I'm here for mana, says Wajek. I mean, is he playing right now? Is he playing after the match? All the other games are currently playing, apart from Trapped Marine Lord. We're going to be casting that one after this round of 8, so that's currently what's going on. So, unfortunately, we will probably not show Mana's game right now, but when we've casted the whole tournament, we will go back and cast Mana's game from the round of 8. Obviously, if he goes into the semi-finals, we're going to cast him. If he does win out, it's just we don't have the time to cast 4 best-of-5s and then 2 best-of-5s in the semis, then a best-of-5 finals. Like, we don't, like, we're starting at 9 PM Korea time, so that this is as friendly as possible for everybody. We don't want the tournament to run 7 hours. Like, already, you know, 5 best-of-5s is probably going to run about 5 hours, you know, and that's like 2 AM Korea time that they're finishing. So we want to try and respect the players and not keep them up all night. So I'm not going to be able to cast all of the round of 8, unfortunately. But like I said, it's very... I mean, I'm going to be casting on base trade later, and I plan to stream until then. So it's very, very possible that we just cast... it's very possible that we just cast the 2 round of 8s that we don't cast now after the finals. Yes, we'll know the scores, but we can still see how the matches go if you want to see how the players played and stuff like that. So you can see this Reaper is coming around, is getting some damage done. Drone taking some hits. We do see the Queen and the Lings going to push this Reaper away. The game is pretty regular once again. Solo doesn't go for that early attack. He just goes for the hatch gas pool into a 3rd hatchery, so much more regular out of Solo, I would suppose. And do you have the Reaper just hanging out the front of the natural? A few Zerglings knocking down some unbuildable rocks here. And the natural, as you see the Overlord just hanging overhead. Ling speed about halfway done. And that starport is about to finish and going to attack loud. But again, we didn't see the battle cruisers in every game. Obviously, we saw in game number 1 it was a Viking into a Banshee. This game he starts Cloak right away. We'll see if it is a Viking or if he's going to go for the Banshee right away. A couple of options for him. We're currently just lacking on minerals to be able to afford what he needs here. Unfortunately, as you do see those couple of queens just hanging out the front of the natural. Okay, Marine going to start targeting down this Overlord, but it will get obviously this Overlord in here to be able to see this. Now, Blue Shift is the sort of map where I could possibly see uThermal potentially as... Oh no, Solar. 8 workers killed already. That's really not good. Wow, first few Hellions getting some real damage done here as Solar makes a little bit of a mistake. A couple of Hellions coming up the left side, going to go for a couple of drones as well. Queen and a couple of Lings able to pick up that Hellion kill. So 9 workers killed. Here's going to see those couple of Lings coming up to the top side. Lair starts up from Solar in the main base, getting that started at here. His choices are quickly kind of running out already, I feel, Solar, because of the damage he's taken. I mean, this first Banshee is coming across the map now. If this gets 5+ kills, Solar's economy is just going to be an absolute shambles. Like, it's already bad, but it's on the verge where he can more or less sort of just stay alive, right? But if he takes, like, I feel like 5 more workers, that's the kind of cutoff point of where, oh dear, like, what are you going to do? And it's tough because, I mean, oh no, Hellions are in again. That is going to be almost guaranteed a lot of worker kills there. So this is 5 already, and it's going to be more. And Solar is just absolutely falling apart at the moment to this army of uThermal. 6 drones down. I mean, it's not even an army. It's just harassing early game units coming across. And this is going to be even more damage dealt. 10 workers killed here. Crazy. Lings will continue to run in up the top side as that Banshee gets a shot off. The Hellion's still being chased. A couple of Lings peel away to the side to be able to continue chasing that Hellion. The Baneling Nest is about to finish up from Solar as well on the natural. As all of these Zerglings coming across are going to be able to pick up an SCV. Solar's just going to type out GG. Wow! No.